Flag pin, shiny as a TV grin, talking tough from a leather chair, sending kids where they'll never sit. Golden tie, talking like it's do or die. Papers power while the cameras spin. Every word is a practice line. Walks, gotta walk. Big talk, big stage, small cars beat the drum, sell the shock. Warhawks, gotta walk. Podcast rage, sells fear like a backstage pass. New suit, same old script. Every map is a looking glass. Front row, cheering from the studio glow. Draw the lines with a marker pen. Other people pay the debt again. Warhawks, gotta walk. Big talk, big stage, small cars beat the drum, sell the suck. Warhawks, gotta walk. Name the names, then dodge the blame. Call it fate, call it keep us safe. They count votes, we count ghosts. Who counts the folded flags on kitchen table? Walks, gotta walk. Gotta walk. Warriors, gotta walk. Gotta walk. Gotta walk. Gotta walk.
Good evening and welcome to 2026. It's all in. Good evening and Happy New Year. Good to see you all. We are a bit late in starting the year because that wasn't too well, but here we are. It's me, David, and Shalini. Welcome, guys.
Hello, Troll Room. And
Good evening, folks.
hello, people.
Happy New Year to you all.
Happy New Year.
And
Woohoo.
it's Happy
What a
New
start,
Year
eh?
to Nectaridus.
Hey, show me the money. Well done, Nectaridus, lad.
Woohoo. Right, so there we go, people. I hope everybody's had a good Christmas and New Year. It's been great. It's been great for me. I hope it's great for you. David, you were over in Ireland. How was that? How was you were in the big side of Ireland, weren't you?
I was in the Big Smoke. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
originally
the big
from
side.
Dublin in the Republic.
Fair city, where the
Fair
girls
city,
are so
not so sure about
pretty.
that anymore.
No, I know.
I
Oh,
think there's been a bit of a thing about Molly Malone and her big, you know what? I think a lot of people want to cover those up. Actually, a lot of people are offended by that
Is
out
that
there.
still?
You
Is
know?
that still there? The Molly Malone statue.
Oh yeah, in her
It
full
is,
was
yeah.
that the one with the rubber boobs and they're all like shiny?
Yeah,
No.
the tourists
Yeah.
they
It's
cop a
bronze.
feel, and even some of the locals like to cop a feel when they kind of come out
Yep.
of Brussels or some of these top-notch bars after like 1 a.m. or something. So yeah, it's all fun and games in Dublin, folks.
Yeah, cool. Right, okay, let's crack on and we'll start with the bad stuff. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
this was pretty bad. So this the Swiss horror, the ski horror, the ski club that went on fire due to, you know, sparklers on champagne, I think. You know,
Yeah.
indoor fireworks on champagne, set the ceiling alight. And then people watched it. They watched it.
Like the DJ, apparently I read on a thread on X, didn't he carried on playing music?
Yeah.
It's like you stop the music and tell people to get out.
It's
for-
like, you know what, people, and I mean, I hate to say it, but all the evidence into what to do in a fire, and you know, don't take my word for it, but all the evidence says that if you want to survive a fire, the best thing to do is actually panic. Because the people that panic usually live. They might not like themselves afterwards, because do you remember when that plane caught fire on the runway at Manchester? Some of the people that were further back survived because on the way out they were climbing over seats and over people to get to the exits, to get out the plane, whereas other people who were queuing orderly, they died. And really, don't fuck around when there's a fire. Do not stop to take pictures. It's pretty bad.
Get out.
Yeah, get out. Trust me.
It's tragic. I dipped into this a little bit, and correct me if I'm wrong, John, Shalini, I heard that there were some fire doors or fire exits that were kind of closed or sealed off, allegedly, and
It's all a bit iffy, shall we say?
yeah,
Yeah.
it reminded me of a great tragedy that happened in North County Dublin back in 1982. It was called the Stardust Fire. There was a very popular
Yes.
club in Dublin called Stardust.
I was little, but obviously as I got older
Mm.
and started going out into town and stuff, yeah, I remember my mum telling me about it. Yeah.
And that was all over the news in Ireland and the UK, and that was tragic. So I saw that, and it reminded me of Stardust.
And these things happen everywhere, and they keep happening. That's the thing. We don't learn from them. We just don't learn.
The owners, because I, as you probably have noticed, spend too much time on X.
Yeah.
The two owners were in whatever that French Swiss thing is, wherever I can't even remember the word, but anyway, they were in for questioning today. But it all seems a little bit dodgy. It's like the DJ kept playing the music.
Yeah.
Also there was a hero, was one of the security guards of the club. He managed to get out himself, but he went back in and he saved a lot of youngsters, but unfortunately he lost his life. Serbian or
that's
something.
pretty.
I can't remember the chap's name, but it was on X, and he lost his life.
Oh,
Very
God.
sad.
Oh,
But they have a lot to answer for.
they do indeed, and fire's not to be trifled with. I know.
No.
I've been on a fire, and it's not fun. It's not fun at all.
And God rest those who suffered, and paid
they're
the
all
ultimate price.
youngsters, and they were all
God rest them. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to the new president of Venezuela.
That's a good one.
It is a good one. I like that.
That's his El Chapo look. Yeah.
It's El Trumpo. It's El Trumpo.
Voila.
What happened? What's happened to the world? I mean, really, what the hell's happened to Trump? He's bombed like 7 countries in the last, 7 months? He just seems to be bombing a new country every year.
It's like we've entered the Twilight Zone in the first week of January.
It's nuts. So anyway, let's go back to the chat room and welcome to the chat room.
Hello, room.
We've got Dread-Eye, Julie, God, I haven't got the things up behind. Don't worry. I thank you for the presents that you sent. Beats and Tapes. Who else we got? Shanty, Nectaridus, Frankie. Who else? Who's missing?
Oh,
We've got loads of people missing.
Can I just say, I know I've already said it, but just because other people may or may not know, and I'm sure they won't mind me. Just want to say congratulations to the new grandparents, Julie and Dread. Congrats on the.
What a long baby! What a
I know,
long baby!
On the wee girl. Sorry, I've forgotten her name.
Bulabus.
Yeah, Bulabus. Yeah.
Bulabus.
Yeah, that's Irish. That's us Gaeilge for clap.
Oh, right, okay.
Bulabus. Yeah, clap.
All right, okay. Mm-hmm. Right, okay, right. So El Trumpo, let's get back to El Trumpo. Bloody hell, what the hell's been going on? Right, so he moves in and tans Venezuela. And I don't know, it doesn't sit right with me, right? I mean, I know Madura's a cunt, but there's plenty of them in the world, you know? I thought being a head of state was kind of sacrosanct. You didn't go after heads of state. I thought that was in fact, I'm pretty sure that was a written international rule.
Didn't he steal the election, though?
Well,
and he's been oppressed.
Didn't Biden steal the election? You know, I mean, really? Who hasn't stolen an election?
I know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they were. I don't know. They were in some kind. I thought they were in some kind. I don't. You know, I'm not tippity top on top of everything geopolitical wise. But I thought they were in some kind of like discussions or some kind of something, and then maybe something broke down or something, I don't know, and then they yeeted him out. Maybe
Yeah,
I could be reading that wrong. of
it's really
course.
weird though, because
It
the
is.
way it was done, and that's all these staged photos and things. It looks like he gave himself up, doesn't it? It looks like there's a deal being cut there.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah, you think that, David? Yeah.
Ish. It's all very strange about how it all kind of went. And I think it is possible
Hmm.
that the Americans contacted him and say, "Hey, we can go in kind of like medium hard, or we can go kind of like full scale. Like, which do you want? You're going to have to give yourself up either way." And he's like, "Okay," and he gave himself up. Like the thing with Venezuela is that I think for most people they take this very oversimplified like approach. He's a dictator. He's a brute. All of the pejoratives that are kind of thrown at Iran and Putin and everywhere else. Like I think also it's fair to say to play devil's advocate that for most people, for most of us plebs out there, we don't realize how deeply we've been indoctrinated with propaganda regarding other countries. And there's just some things out there which aren't so simple to explain. I think it's a little bit more complicated in the case with Venezuela.
Yeah, Shanti saying they paraded him around an open van. I saw that. That was weird.
They did
You
what?
know,
What did Shanti say?
When
What
they paraded him
my
around
glasses.
they paraded him around in an open van, which I thought was weird because they were
Oh, I
driving
didn't see that.
they were driving through New York with the van doors open.
But when he
at the
was going to
back.
court, is it?
Yeah, he's sitting in the
weird.
back along with his guards, but it's very
unorthodox.
It,
It's very unorthodox behavior by the Americans to do that.
A
Yeah.
little bit strange.
it's a bit like South American type behavior, is it not? It just seems really weird.
Now he's obviously I know they'll probably I'm not gonna like say anything much, but other than he's got his eyes on other locations now, El Trumpo.
Yeah, so
I'll leave it at that. I won't say any more than that because I'm sure they're all in your upcoming slides.
I'm not sure. I'm not on the ball as much as this.
No, we're
you're gonna
not.
have to stay with us, people, because we're getting back up to speed. Takes us right. What about the tanker then? What about the tanker that was on its way to Venezuela? Right, this Gannon registered tanker apparently on its way to Venezuela, challenged by the U.S. Coast Guard, turns around and takes off into the Atlantic, ostensibly heading for Russia. Halfway through its journey, reflags itself to a Russian tanker, calling itself from the Bella 1 to the Marinera, I think.
Yeah.
Weird.
Still being pursued or shadowed by the US Coast Guard ship, which follows it for 2 weeks. So it's now between Scotland and Iceland, right? Where it gets boarded by US Special Forces with the help of Starmer, apparently, and that did happen. So, because there's the Ministry of Defence today, the UK has provided enabling support to the United States at their request to interdict the vessel Bella 1. Now, the ship's empty. It's not got any oil in it, that's for sure, because it's riding high in the water. You can see, if it's a tanker, if it had oil in it, it would be sitting right down. You wouldn't see all the undercoat, basically. So the question is, what the fuck's going on? And is the US Coast Guard not a bit outside their jurisdiction? Or it just seems to me now that America just thinks it rules the world. It is effectively Team America, World Police again, isn't it?
That movie was funny.
Yeah, it's a combination of a couple of things. In my opinion, I think it was like some sort of pawn, some sort of like dummy or something like that, like to try and like lure some of the American like militia like away from Venezuela. Like kind of perhaps I'm just throwing that out there, but
Could be.
all of this began to kind of kick off when the Russians and the other Orthodox Eastern Orthodox countries, say some other Southern Europe Slavic countries like Serbia, etc. They all began to kick off their Orthodox Christmas, and then all of this started. So there's something weird going on with the timing of it too.
Yeah, and Nick Teridis, he says pure piracy against international law again, and I tend to go with with that look at it, Nectaridus, I don't have any skin in the game here, but I can't see how it's any different from Somalians, boarding a cargo vessel and off the Horn of Africa and asking for a ransom.
Well, if there's
As it-
nothing on there, if, as you say, then as you say, David, maybe it is a decoy. Who knows what
That was
fuck
the
with
word
the
I was
world.
looking for. Decoy. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
2026 is no better than 2025. It's all mad, bad, and crazy.
It's completely nuts.
Ah.
How did that come up? Right,
We've got
okay.
more people in the chat. Hello, Darren and Espresso.
There are more people joining the chat. Hi, Darren. Good to see you. And Espresso. Nice to see you. Right, what's the next part? And I think that one of the good things is Putin's not prone to knee-jerk reactions.
No.
So we did see some strong words from Russia, but he hasn't gone overboard and he hasn't done anything. Having said that, someone was commentating on Putin and how, in a couple of years' time, Russia will come along and do something to really embarrass the United States, which kind of might well happen. So, once again, the gay bars near the Pentagon emptied out during the US operation in Venezuela. The same metrics pointed to a US strike on Iran in June 2025. So it now appears we have a reliable metric. If nobody's going to the gay bars, something's going down.
You could also apply that to London Vauxhall, to where MI6 SIS
Probably.
are stationed, because they frequent the very diverse community, the lads, maybe some of the girls as well, a lot of the saunas around there too. So that could be a reasonable metric for secret intelligence services down in London's Vauxhall.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of down up the road from me, and I'll be honest, Vauxhall's a bit of a kip. That's me being polite.
A bit of a what?
No, just in general, it's a bit of a kip.
A bit kippy, Sarge.
Yeah,
What's
it's
a
a bit of a
kip?
kip.
What does that mean? I'm sorry.
The dump.
Sorry,
that's a Dublin phrase. Sorry.
Oh, right, okay.
It's an Irish thing.
Yeah, well, I've been watching Father Ted, but I'm not up in my Irish yet.
Oh, okay.
Right, I rewatched that over the break.
Oh, did you? I haven't seen that in ages.
It's so funny, it really is.
That Christmas special.
Yep.
Hey.
So the tanker that the US seized, which is called a Russian tanker, had 17 Ukrainians as crew. The vessel had a 28-member crew. 17 were Ukrainians, 6 were Georgian nationals, 3 were Indians. They're probably doing the washing, and 2 Russian citizens. That's
Interesting.
bizarre, isn't it?
Comes back to the
17
decoy.
Ukrainians. Yeah, I think it could be. Either that or is Ukraine actually running the Russian shadow tanker fleet?
Dun, dun.
There's so many angles you could take this.
I know,
Oh,
it's mad, isn't it?
False flag gone wrong. Just putting it
Yeah.
out there.
could be, yeah. Hatchie Hatchie, good to see you,
Hello,
mate.
Hachi. Happy New Year.
That false flag gone wrong. Oh, God. There's just
Gone
so many.
backwards.
And it's like the conspiracists have come out the cupboard in droves over the last couple of weeks.
Oh,
They
I
really
know.
have.
It's got. I think that all the retards have gotten worse this January.
They have.
Oh,
Cheers-
my
cheers to that.
days. Yeah.
Cheers. Retard Finder is working overtime on,
I know.
on X, if he's still about.
Right, what's believed to be the first appearance in its 51-year flying history, the Boeing 747-E4B Night Watch, also known as the Doomsday plane, showed up at LAX during Thursday's airline videos live broadcast and will most likely be the highlight of 2026. This is the plane that's hardened against nuclear attack. This is the flying control centre that the president and the cabinet or whatever are meant to be in. If nuclear war becomes imminent, it costs something in the region of something incredible, like $700,000 an hour or something to fly the
Oh
thing.
wow. Mad.
Compared to the regular Air Force One, which is only about $40,000. But yeah, so there you go. Plane spotters of the world unite. Right, moving on. Still on this. Retired French General Mikhail Yakiev says that if NATO collapses over Trump's Greenland push, Europe would force US troops out of Europe. Europe would force US troops out of Europe. And I'm thinking, We won't go to war with the United States. We don't have the means. We'll kick them out. Ramstein, Naples, Does he realise how much that would cost Europe? And I don't understand.
Clearly.
I don't understand people because they don't seem to understand how much America spends in Europe because it's got all these NATO bases there.
Yep.
I mean, we are talking billions that would be removed from the economy like that because I saw what happened when the Yanks pulled out of Holy Law. I mean, the local economy just tanked. It was like
That's
the
another
place.
thing.
The place became a ghost town.
Yeah.
And, imagine them coming out of Germany. I mean, how many American bases are there in Germany? There's hundreds.
I'm sure there's quite a few, no?
Oh, there are stacks. See, there are parts of Germany, when you're driving through it, you think you're in America because all the car dealers are selling Ford pickup trucks.
Yeah. Well, he's just a political. He's just a political retard, so he doesn't know what he's talking.
Like this sort of stuff, it's theoretically possible. Realistically, it's not going to happen. A lot of these retired generals, they go on with such like bluff and bluster about certain things, but critical reality dictates it's not going to happen.
Ain't happening, dude.
But the thing that gets me is, I think America might contract their business because I don't think they see Europe as viable anymore. I think that's the problem.
Especially us, but I'm sure the thing I'm not going to say anything is going to come up in another.
Well, yeah, especially with the way that things are going on just now with Starmer,
and X and all that.
And Macron, and I mean, especially going against what America's trying to do with Russia, I can really see it going wrong. Excuse me a second, I'm just turning off my fire.
The special relationship is in the toilet.
Yeah.
For want of a better expression.
No, it's well and truly over.
I think that tanker thing might have been an attempt to try and get it back, but I don't think it's going to work. England is a sinking hole, says Hatchie. Don't know, is it? Yeah, probably. Anyway, moving on. Right, so this was a big thing at one point. United States seizes Venezuela's $1 trillion in precious metals. Less than 24 hours after the invasion of Venezuela, the US government quietly secured a massive smelter deal to process Venezuela's $1 trillion worth of... Well, this is bullshit. This is just misinformation. Yes, that's true to a degree, but that deal was set, 6 or 7 months ago, and it wasn't with Venezuela, it's with Korea Zinc. So yes, America is making deals like this, but it's got nothing to do with them taking over Venezuela. It's just people don't put things on things that are happening that happened anyway. These things happened like months and months ago. So the whole thing's nonsense, absolute nonsense to try and tie these things together. It's like that guy with the conspiracy board, and you're bringing things together that just don't belong on the same table. They really don't.
Yeah, it's massive juxtaposition, square peg, round hole, all for the kind of the grift,
Yeah, that's basically it, just to make yourself look good. A free Venezuela from America protest is taking place in Glasgow.
Hey.
I don't know what to fucking say.
Retards.
I really don't know what to say. About 30 or 40 people went out, and it's not warm here. It's not fucking warm. It's minus something all the time. I mean, really? What's the point of us protesting in Glasgow about Gaza, Palestine, Ukraine, Venezuela, Syria, Yemen? What's the point? What's the point?
I've noticed all the Palestine law. I've now changed to free Maduro and leave Venezuela alone. Rubbish.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I mean, yeah, the whole thing's nuts. And this is why Daddy built a nuclear weapon, says Kim Jong-un. Kim Ung-yong, or whatever his name is.
Oh, however, yeah.
But yeah, hey, it's right enough. If he didn't have a nuke, would they have gone in and taken him out? Would they? I don't know.
North Korea is just off the chain. It's just like a wild animal, isn't it? They're just like, yep, just leave it alone. Don't poke
Leave
it.
it over there.
Trump had his moment with Kim Jong, kind of
Yeah.
Yeah, he
passing over
did.
the
Yeah, a couple of years
DMZ
ago. Yeah, I remember
line,
that.
and
Yeah.
I don't think there's much else that they can do with North Korea.
Yeah, I think North Korea's freaking scream. I really do. I think it's brilliant. And the guy might get a lot of flack, but he's obviously not completely stupid, because effectively that is the only way you're not getting touched these days if you've got a nuclear weapon.
Yep.
Oh gosh, this is a very dark wine. This is one of the ones that I got from my good friends. Julie
Oh, was
and Al.
that a Christmas gift? Was it?
Yes, it's a Tinto. They send me a half box every year.
Oh, very nice. Who sent you that?
Julie and Adam.
Oh, lovely. Nice one.
Excellent
Oh,
taste.
Cheers.
Excellent taste.
Cheers. I'm getting, even though I have a semi-blocked nose, I'm getting raspberry notes. Oh my goodness, queer fair bit of tannin in that. Oh, it's like chewing a bit of old leather. You can get it all coming through. It's sitting in 22 or 221B Baker Street and sniffing the tobacco as Holmes sits in the corner puffing his pipe. Right, moving on. Rachel Reeves has said she was angered by Nigel Farage's suggestion that only British-born families should have the two-child benefit cap lifted, saying the Reform UK leader would keep children in poverty based on their skin colour. Hold on a minute. Read that again. That's not what Nigel's... And I don't like Nigel Farage, but that's not what he's saying. It's not what he's saying. He's not basing anything on anybody's colour. All he's saying is you shouldn't get it unless they're British born. That's nothing to do with colour.
Or become fully integrated as British citizens.
Well, he was angered. She was angered by Nigel Farage's suggestion that only British born families should have the two-child benefit cap lifted, which I think's fair. Really only British citizens or fully integrated people should be getting benefits anyway. But it's got nothing to do with skin colour. Rachel Reeves is the racist here, not Nigel Farage. And it's quite obvious.
Bit up into it anyway.
Oh.
Trout.
Excuse me. Right, moving on. Right, this is a cracker. The AI used by the Utah police to transcribe body camera footage said an officer shapeshifted into a frog.
What?
The reason it did it is even more bizarre. So, Heber City, Utah, an artificial intelligence that writes police reports had some explaining to do earlier this month after it was claimed a Heber City officer had shapeshifted into a frog. However, the truth behind the so-called magical transformation is simple-ish. The bodycam software and the AI report writing software picked up on the movie that was playing in the background, which happened to be The Princess and the Frog.
For goodness sake.
That's when we learned, said Sergeant Keel. That's when we learned the importance of correcting these AI-generated reports.
That's why we need human checkers.
It certainly does. Could you imagine if that report had gone through and they're like, hang on a minute, Officer
but hold on
Jenkins turned into a frog?
Hold on a minute. Why is he only saying now? That's when we learn the importance of correcting these AI-generated reports. How many have been AI-generated and been just slightly off?
Oh, yeah,
and,
well, yeah.
Given something a completely different spec and somebody gets, 5 years in jail instead of an admonishment or whatever. How many people have been wrongly convicted because of shit that's been written by AI? I don't know. It certainly seems to be an error.
These are very good questions.
You can't even rely on human checkers, because we once wrote a police report because we suspected the sergeant wasn't checking our police reports properly, and we once wrote a police report about Alsatian who got lifted for shitting on the pavement.
Oh, well, just to see.
And the sergeant put it through to the inspector, and the inspector came down at the next briefing and goes, "Okay, smart arse, who put this one in?" And we're like, whoa. Did the sergeant not check that?
Well, there's got to be some balance. If we're going to use these AI tools, there we
Yeah,
go.
if you're gonna
if
use
there's a
them-
chance of hallucination, we have to have the human checkers with the AI as well combined.
And that's why you need critical thinking.
Yeah.
So Beats and Tapes says, no, he thinks it really happened. I think you might be onto something, Beats and Tapes. I wouldn't put anything past it, especially in Utah. Could have been near the Skinwalker Ranch, couldn't it? Anyway, a right-wing asshole tried to post this and claim it was when Britain was great. Couldn't even bother to find a photograph from the 80s to illustrate his point. It's not just AI, it's absolutely bloody awful AI. They really are low effort, aren't they? And this guy in the bottom corner says, AI fake photograph. They're driving on the right-hand side of the road. Well, that doesn't necessarily prove it's AI, because it could be a one-way street, okay? But the guy with his fucking legs on backwards is a bit of a giveaway.
I just saw that now.
Oh yeah, there's so much AI slop. It's ridiculous.
Fucking unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, a one-way street accounts for that, no problem. And that actually does look, it looks almost real. But the guy with the legs on backwards doesn't. Right, moving on. Far left, there's a lot to unpick in this one, guys. Right? Far Left magazine shuts down after Indian migrant editor allegedly rapes Antifa activist. The migrant raped the organizer a second time after she made him read feminist essays. What?
That's crazy.
This is not a straightforward case by any stretch of the imagination. That's just nuts. Yeah. That's I think that might be a little bit of someone calling out Wolf after regretting having done something.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to comment on that one. That is
Yeah.
that's really weird. That's really dodgy. Doesn't sit right.
Well, do you remember the American astronaut that we looked into last year? The one where her wife had driven across the country. Remember, she was in the ISS, and her wife had driven across the country to confront her commander or something at NASA because she said her astronaut wife had illegally accessed her account from the ISS. Well, turns out the whole thing was made up. So it's not like women don't make things up. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of making things up, West Midlands police seem to have made stuff up about all this.
Well, a lot of us said that at the time, that this is all a bit...
Well, we did. It was very convenient, wasn't it, Shalini?
It certainly was.
And it's not like Westminster. It's not like West Midlands police have ever made up evidence before, have they? Oh, hold on.
Totally innocent.
Hold on. What force was it that put the Birmingham Six behind bars? Oh, it was West Midlands. Do you remember that? No?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, West Midlands have got a bit of form here. They've got a bit of form. Police drew up false evidence after decision to ban Maccabi Tel Aviv fans. So they decided they were going to ban them. They made up the evidence to support the ban, when the actual evidence wasn't that it was the Maccabi fans that were going to cause the problem. It was the indigenous population.
Wow.
From a certain religious cult.
Yes, a certain community.
Yes.
Wonder who that might be. No ideas.
Well, I think we know. We all know who that was, but we shan't say. Not at this point. Right, moving on. Right, this fucking police.
What's on that? I'm so blind.
Right, so the police made a song like a Christmas Carol thing. Doing the old what's it, Bob Dylan stuff. You know, they made a song about have a nice Christmas and we're looking for you and we'll see you very soon and all that, because there was a warrant out for this guy. That's sick. That's just actually fucking sick. You know, that's publicly shaming someone on social media. This is kind of Chinese level stuff, is it not?
It's very strange. So let me get this right. That they created this carol to intimidate a guy that they were
That they
looking out
wanted,
for, who's on the run.
yeah, they wanted to lock up. Yeah.
Just get on with the policing, please. Like,
Yeah, stop.
You know what I mean? This is just absolute crap.
It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah. Shouldn't be seeing this nonsense on social media from them. You know what I
No,
mean? Just get on with
Just
the
get
bloody
on with
policing.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Look
For
from-
fuck's sake.
Police will be making diss tracks next, says Beats and Tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably have, mate. They probably have. Right. Minnesota's infamous quality
yes.
learning centres apparently
Learning
now
centre.
closed. Yeah. So this whole Minnesota, I mean, what the hell's going on in Minnesota? It seems to have become like mini Somalia.
Yes,
It's like-
basically.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you import a stack of people that have no regard for your culture and your laws. I mean, the whole thing's crazy.
And a certain Tim, what's his face?
Waltz.
That one might
Yeah.
be involved, methinks. Well, hasn't he stepped down at that race? Is it the governor or whatever?
Yeah, I think he might have, yeah.
All a little bit Dutch.
Right. Non-crime hate incidents to be scrapped in favour of common sense.
Yes,
Chairman of the
that won't
College
happen.
of Policing said the system would be scrapped and replaced with a completely different system.
Yeah, right.
Which is
Well, we haven't heard yet, but you know,
TBC.
we
They'll
will.
still be logging them. Because that's the easy box for them to tick, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not a crime. This is the
No,
thing.
no, no, no. And I'm not saying that you know. Do you know what I mean? I think it's ridiculous. They should be actually out there sorting out. Do you know what I mean? Actual.
Yeah, they should be. They
crime.
should be policing.
But what I'm
They should
saying
be
is,
investigating crimes and locking people up for breaking the law. Not creating crime, or investigating non-crime hate incidents. Who cares? It's like I say, it's okay to hate.
Yeah.
It is okay to actually hate.
exactly,
just
it's
not allowed to
against
tell
it's not
people.
it's not against the law, for God's sake.
Well, it depends, doesn't it? It does depend, but you can hate. I mean, nobody can tell you that you can't hate someone, you know? Can they? You know, I might hate people that build Lego, but does that make me a bad person?
No.
I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. You guys, you're
Yeah,
very
move on,
quiet,
Craig.
David.
Hey,
You're very quiet. I think you need some alcohol on you, mate.
I'm getting alcohol, but there's just the some articles where I'm just speechless. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like the Maccabi stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's a lot to delve into that. Like, you know, for
Oh, yeah,
example,
there
and
is.
they are no bloody angels. But of course, it is important to criticize, you know, where the police are like lying. Sorry, I know I'm kind of digressing and going back a little bit, but that's kind of the source of when I'm kind of quiet. Sometimes it's like, you know, I do want to dig deeper. We don't have time. It is when you have
I-
Tel Aviv involved, it's like, be careful.
I can understand.
You
I
know?
can understand the whole police thing if they hadn't been asked, but they had been asked multiple times
Yeah.
by, you know, parliamentary commissions as to what was going on and to produce the evidence, and they just blatantly lied to them.
They dug a hole for themselves.
They
Yeah.
did, yeah.
Stop digging that.
So I don't know I don't know how much longer we'll have Grok the way things are going, but
No.
Jerome Powell here goes, "Hey Grok, remove the gay president."
Oh dear.
Oh, it was quite funny at the time. Right, moving on. During a seemingly routine interview, Professor Sir John Bell, a key figure in the development of the Oxford vaccine, that's the AstraZeneca one, I think,
Yeah, it was, yeah.
accidentally let slip a jaw-dropping bombshell that left the world in disbelief. Caught off guard, Bell revealed the unthinkable, sterilising 60 to 70% of the world's population.
I remember
Watch the
that.
footage, right? The moment is surreal as Bell speaks, oblivious to the live broadcast, only to be met with a look of absolute horror and panic on his colleague's face. What a load of fucking bullshit.
This has been going on
Again.
for a couple of years now.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah.
It's been getting bandied about. In fact, there's
Yeah.
some guy at the bottom has put something. Bullshit poster getting blocked. He's quite clearly talking about infection and sterilising the infection in the population. disingenuous misinformation by you does not help to determine the truth of the situation. These people are fucking nuts. And it doesn't help anyone if you start making shit up to try and make your case, because it's so blatantly obvious and so easy to see through. It really pisses me off.
I can see why some people might get a bit concerned, but it's like an individual like him, of his particular stature, status, you know what I mean? One of these big medical wigs. He's going to be heavy in use with medical terminology and overall language. So, when you kind of dig into it, it's like, okay, yeah, I get what he means now,
Yeah, and, if you actually sat and just listened to the interview, you would pick it up straight away. The whole thing's nonsense, absolute nonsense.
I'm not a big fan of Professor Sir John Bell. I mean, he had meetings throughout 2020 and into 2021 with the likes of Jeremy Hunt et al. This was before the whole kind of NHS COVID pass came in. He was kind of one of the progenitors about kind of giving people a kind of a freedom pass or a permission slip after taking a test. It could be freedom for say a month, 2 months, 3 months, and he also works for an ex-spook organization which is called Hackliat. He's within their advisory board. I think don't kind of quote me on that, but he's a bit of an interesting figure, Professor Sir John Bell. Do a bit of digging into him, folks. You'll see exactly what I mean. He's definitely not sparkly clean. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, and there are many, many people like that out there. I mean, some of these other people, like
sorry,
what's his name, John Campbell, and
that guy, because he was pushing the stabby wabby.
Yeah, but you can't take what they've said out of context and use it to promote your own agenda, because that's just as disingenuous as anybody else.
That's what these accounts do. They're looking for massive amounts of sentiment release, emotional release, even if it's a couple of years old. It's like, well, that hasn't been bandied around for a bit. Let's reintroduce it so we can get loads of engagement and continue to monetize. It's quite simple what they're doing.
Yeah. Unmitigated mind says, appreciate the qualities of others that you profoundly dislike. Yeah, makes sense. Get the blood up and it's good for circulation. Always a silver lining after. Yeah, it's fair enough. Right, where was I? Moving on. A massive Swedish study tracking over 800,000 people for 35 years just revealed that every single centurion had high total cholesterol. So the higher your LDL, the longer you live. Well, you can't say that without qualification.
Which LDL is he talking about? What kind
low density LDL's a low density lipoproteins, isn't it? That's the good one. Yeah,
it exists in more than one form, though, doesn't it? LDL.
Yeah, it does. That's why you've got to delve into your. It's like when you get your, you go to the. I went to the doctors. He said you need a. What's it called? They do they've actually stopped doing it on me now, but they used to do a cholesterol check every year, and they'd come back and he goes, "You've got high cholesterol. I'm going to put you on a statin." I goes, "Oh, hold on."
Oh, yeah, I know. Bugger off.
Hold on. I said, "What's the breakdown?" And he looked at it and he went, "Well, it appears we've only got a total." And I goes, "Well, how can you say anything? You've only got a total. I need a breakdown."
Start off with your statin.
He goes, "Okay." He goes, I'll take some more bloods and we'll get a breakdown." And then he got the breakdown, and the breakdown was marginal, probably. Yeah. I've always had high cholesterol, always, right? I said, "No, I don't think I need a statin then." And he's going, "Well, I strongly suggest you take one. I take one," and I'm going, "Well, but I'm not you."
Exactly.
So I won't be taking it. I won't be taking it. So that was that. Anyway, moving on. Argentinians are discovering that the massive wildfires in Patagonia are being caused by Israel. Well, right, we can't see. There's another statement. We can't say that they are being caused by Israelis. What we can say is one was found to have been started by Israeli tourists who are now being hunted by the Argentinians. So the question is, how did they find out they were Israelis and then let them go? So, there's more to this than meets the eye. What is going on here?
I hadn't heard of this anyway, to be fair.
Right, so there's big forests, there's big ancient forest or something in Patagonia on fire.
Right.
And apparently it was 2 Israeli tourists that set it on fire. And the same thing happened in Argentina, I believe, in 2012. 2 Israeli tourists set some forest fires.
But to set it on fire, that kind of infers intent. Was it accidental or was it intentional? These are the questions we kind of have to ask.
But what the hell's going on in South America that Israeli tourists are setting fire to forests? It's weird.
Was it a camping trip? I mean, like, what was going on here? It seems to be a popular destination for Israeli tourists. Like, for my sojourning and my traveling around the massive country that is India, you consistently get Israelis going up into northern parts of India, like Himachal Pradesh and like in Rishikesh and places like that, and areas where you can get like loads of certain types of kind of, I'll say it, cannabis. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And cheap liquor. They continue to like frequent these like particular areas. So, but intentionally starting fires, we don't know.
If somebody was, it's just
It's weird, doesn't it? That is weird.
It certainly is. Maybe Hercule Poirot can figure it out for us.
Maybe we need to do a deep dive. Maybe we should. If anyone wants to sponsor us to go to Argentina and Patagonia, I'm game. I'm game to
oblige.
Game to try. I'm game to try. Patagonia can't possibly any colder than where we are just now. Anyway, right. People who come off slimming jabs regain weight 4 times faster than dieters. Imagine
Look
that.
way with some people, but anyway.
Well, so yeah, I think this isn't unknown though. I mean, it's coming out again, but this wasn't unknown even like a year ago. If you came off these jabs, you did tend to put the weight back on quite quickly if you kept the same amount of intake. So, you know what, people? Ultimately, you've got to stop shoving stuff in your gob if you want to thin down, says the fat guy. You know? But yeah, you've got to stop shoving stuff in your gob.
I mean, never mind regaining weight, folks. I'd be more concerned about the potential, the possibility of side effects. Exactly, Shalini. Yeah.
Yeah, because isn't there that? Is it Robbie Williams who said he's having problems with his eyes? Have I got that right? Because he's on one of those skinny jabs.
That is the known side effect. It can interfere with your vision. Yeah.
Also,
yes.
like you've got all the I can't. I'm terrible. I think I'm actually getting dementia now. But anyway, I can't remember anybody's name. So the two that are in that new Wicked whatever movie.
Oh,
they are
Ariana Grande and.
Oh, thank you. And literally, like they look like skeletons. And then also there was
Kelly Osbourne.
Kelly Osbourne was another one, and it's like, oh my god,
Sharon Osbourne. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and they
Sharon.
look like they've got anorexia. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't be going near any of them things.
Can turn some people very ghoulish.
It does. It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
No, not a good look at all. Why do people always look for the easy option? As you say, watch what's going in your gob and move a bit more.
Because it's the easy option. People like the easy way out. They don't want things that are hard. You know, and the problem is putting weight on's not hard, but getting rid of it is.
Yeah.
You know? And that's purely the result of evolution, because you don't want to lose fat. You don't want to lose weight quickly because you want to stay alive. And in our world of plenty, generally, you know, it's very, very difficult because your body's designed to fast for certain periods. In fact, fasting brings on lots of beneficial things like autophagy and improved cognition and everything. You know, once you get beyond like 72 hours, your body goes into high gear because
I've never tried it. Obviously, I like, you know, you fast like after you last eat and then you wake up in the morning, but I've never tried it as an actual thing.
I've done a 10-day fast, and once you get past 3 days, it's fine. You don't even get hungry anymore because you're burning fat.
To do it. Maybe
The hardest thing is you just miss eating. I just missed eating. I would sit down at dinner time with the family and we would, you know, I would sit with a glass of water and they would eat their dinner. And I'd be like, I really miss eating, but I'm not hungry. You know, it wasn't an ordeal. It's just you miss eating. I missed mastication. Anyway, Nick Teredas,
Steady
you
on.
heard me right. I said mastication.
I
Nick
know.
Teredas says, my non-expert reading of the Spanish text is that the weapon, or incendiary device or whatever, was one used by the Israeli IDF. So that boggles the mind, because how did they get it to South America? So
Curious,
then one
I'm
thing,
curious, sir.
then one gets to the point, is there some kind of state actor involved here?
Maybe.
Because really, you'd need a state actor to start moving that kind of kit around the world.
Or
the
security services.
Especially, even if you're flying El Al, you're going to be struggling to get stuff. Well, especially if you're flying El Al, because their security is pretty damn hot. Right, anyway, let me see. Let's just check up on the chat. Espresso Mechanic says Kelly Osbourne needs to beware. I think you're right. Derek Martin says, I'm not quite sure. I don't know what he's saying. People tend to look rough when they take those shots. Yes, they do look emaciated, says Unmitigated Mind. You're right. $2 million case in US against Ozempic, says Shanti. That's interesting. We're not supposed to eat 3 times a day with snacks, says Shanti. Exactly, the world of plenty. We're just not designed to eat like that. They get obsessed with losing as much weight as possible. It's extremely unhealthy. I don't understand why they don't just exercise and maybe fast from time to time. Well, because it's harder.
It means they might actually have to do something unmitigated. So.
Right, moving on. Where are we? Interesting poll on the 18 to 24-year-olds. Headline voting intention. So 31% of 18 to 24-year-olds intend to vote for the Green Party, 27% is Conservative.
Why am I not surprised?
17% Labour, 13% Reform, 6% Libs, 4% another party or independent candidate, and 1% the Scottish National Party.
Why am I not surprised?
Of course, that poll was probably conducted with up to, say, like 2,000 people or something like that.
Yeah, so, it won't be terribly representative. But
it's a very small
there's
sample.
one thing that jumps out there, is that having Conservative and Reform as 2 separate parties isn't doing anyone any favours. And I know we don't like a 2-party system, but you're not going to win if you split your right-leaning vote. You just aren't.
Well, at this rate, Reform practically is the Conservatives, with all the walkovers that keep happening.
Well, yeah, but
what I mean.
It's wow, you know what I mean. Labour Council stops filming of World War II film as Nazi flag is offensive. Can't believe it's real, but apparently it is. Labour-run Waltham Forest Council in London stopped Nicolas Cage filming his new World War II film because he wanted to put a Nazi flag up.
Oh, for God's sake, bloody retards.
Well, of course, it's Stella Creasy up there. I know that area well.
Oh, well, there you go.
And she's as useless as a fucking chocolate fire guard, that woman.
What the fuck can you say? What can you actually say?
I'm sure Nicolas Cage was like, what the fuck?
I find it offensive. It's a film. It's still offensive. It's a film. You just can't talk to these people.
You can't. You know? The world's gone nuts, mate. It really has.
Retardation.
So, did you hear the latest thing Vladimir Putin is doing in Russia? Is insisting every Russian download the Russian government app on their smartphone, which will store their biometric details, and if they refuse, it will ban them from the internet. Oh, just kidding. It's Ireland, of course. Is this correct? Is this correct, my little Irish people?
I don't know.
It's something that the government are looking at. You know, they're kind of looking at this model from Australia and thinking about implicating it in Ireland. And when I was at home over the Christmas period, I even had a couple of members of my own family supporting this. actually, which was very interesting. We had some very interesting conversations about it. They kind of strongly supported the nanny state, and it's also interesting because my only sister who's got four kids, she uses technology to kind of help, kind of like not have this kind of nanny state approach. She has this like type of family link software that is installed on kind of tablets and smartphone devices to help take care of the kids. So that is a good example of parents taking proactive action where we shouldn't really need like the nanny state doing this sort of stuff. But I mean, I am concerned about this from the Irish perspective because it's a very small state, north and south, and it's like 5 point something kind of like million, I think, at least in the Republic or thereabouts. And they might have their very merry way with this particular approach, considering the size of the country. So yeah, it's very concerning.
It is, isn't it? So what's the and the one that's always trotted out is if you've nothing to hide, you've nothing to fear.
Well, one of the biggest like logical fallacy arguments you could kind of introduce into this, Mike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plenty of those out there. Yeah, nothing to fear, nothing to hide. And of course, the way to counter that particular logical fallacy is, well, that's all right then. Just give me the 16-digit number of your credit card or debit card and your last 3 digits, please.
Or these days, just give me your unlocked phone right now and let me browse it.
Yeah.
How many people would let you do that?
Nobody would. Because it's nuts, dude.
So yeah, that's what's happening in Ireland. It could kind of go either way. So it's kind of catching from Australia and other countries these imported kind of foreign models. So let's see how it goes down at home.
And this is the thing, because people go on about, it's one world government. We're all moving towards the same thing, and yeah, we are. But I don't think it's a deliberate act. I think what's happening is countries look at what other countries have done and go, well, that's a good idea. If they got away with that, we can do that, And
I would agree with that. Yeah, it's a case of like with the UK and national digital ID kind of prospects. It's like we want to have the toys that everyone else does because we didn't really have a national ID system, and we don't want to be left behind with the rest of the world. We don't want to be a mockery, and we need to catch up like really, really quickly. So they're trying to copy and paste these other models and attempting to introduce it into countries like Great Britain, who are very prickly about these sorts of schemes, historically speaking.
And they can shove it as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, look, guys, if you have nothing to say, why do you need free speech?
That's what Edward Snowden said.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you have nothing to say, why do you need free speech? Bear that in mind. Right. 27-year-old woman who attempted to steal nearly £1,000 worth of beauty products from a shop in Blackpool has been jailed over the Christmas period. 27.
Right, if she's 27, then John, you know how old I turned 2 weeks ago or whenever it was. I'm now 18. I'm 18 now. Yeah.
I thought you were 212.
That's got to be a joke. 27.
That's never 27, mate. Either that or
27.
Fucking hell, their face needs an iron.
That's a 27-year-old who's like, gone to war, smoked heavily, drank heavily, severe stress, had a really hard life,
It beats and tape says 127. Yeah. It's just fucking, yeah.
Yeah, they've missed a one.
Speaking of going back to Israelis, and I know you don't like touching on the subject, but Judge Benny Sagi, president of the Beersheba District Court, was killed in a traffic accident on Route 6. He was riding his motorcycle when a car came off the verge that was sitting there waiting for him, I suspect, and knocked him off and then carried on its merry way, hit and run. This judge is quite important because he's the one that was sitting on Bibi Netanyahu's case.
Right.
Totally not a coincidence or anything. Nope. Nothing to see here, folks. Just
nothing to
total
see.
Coincidence here. Yep.
Nothing to see here. Just move along now. Move along.
Now.
And staying with that thread, You have to hand it to the British establishment. They really do find a way to make every issue about Jews and the Holocaust.
Oh God, now what?
So, well, Holocaust survivor descendant stripped by Grok AI tool on X.
Oops.
That's
That's Bella Wallersteiner.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Who gives a fuck? Really? Who cares what she is? Other than the fact that she's a woman and she's had her personal rights violated to a degree, right? So who cares that she's a Holocaust descendant or a Holocaust survivor's descendant? Why does that have any?
Why is that relevant? Yeah.
Why does that have any relevance in this conversation? It doesn't. It doesn't, and it doesn't make it. It doesn't make the crime any worse or any less, does it? It doesn't. It's not mitigation, and it's not a. What do they call it? Oh, no.
Yeah. No, we know.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's not an aggravation.
Yeah.
So no relevance, no relevance whatsoever. Just something for them to bring up, and they could have picked anyone. They could have picked anyone. They could have picked Liz Truss, couldn't they?
I think it was a case where Bella Wallersteiner, who I am not a massive supporter of. You know, I've seen her stuff over the years. She's got some very unsavory, distasteful takes on national issues in the country. She was feigning outrage over this particular thing with Grok, and then of course, you know, the Times et al. Decide, oh, let's get your good self to write for us. Let's kind of like create something out of this. You know, I think that's how that came about, because of her feigned outrage.
So here's one from the chat then. Let's talk about this before we go any further.
Vile.
Okay. Shanti says, did you see Martin Clunes is playing Hugh Edwards in a drama? Rees nonsense, right? Okay.
It's vile. Why would you even want to play that?
Well, why wouldn't you? I mean, what's the problem with having a drama or, you know, a dramatization of a real world event? What's the problem with it? I mean, we do it for all sorts of things. We make war movies. We made the Diary of Anne Frank turned out to be a load of shite. But we do all that stuff. So what's wrong with having a dramatization of the Hugh Edwards thing? And I don't know what slant it's going to take on it. I mean, when we find out what slant it goes, it might be trying to excuse him, or it might be, you know, nailing him to a pole. But what's wrong with doing it? What's wrong with doing it?
Is it the BBC's doing?
I don't know. Well, Shanti says it won't be the truth, but yeah, you know what? Is that a reason not to do these things? Is it? I don't know. You know,
Yeah,
again, you're back to freedom of speech and freedom of expression. I mean, just because you don't like it doesn't mean that people shouldn't be allowed to do it.
Yeah, you could apply the same thing to, say, what was his name, who played Charles Bronson in the biopic, that famous British actor. And I think the thing for Martin Clunes is that, this is going to be incredibly challenging for him, and he probably does understand, the fallout from this. But I think this is something he can utilize for his own career. I'm sure that there weren't many who were in the casting basket who were kind of like up for it. So we're either going to have Martin Clunes as Hugh Edwards, or it's going to be someone else playing like Jimmy Savile. These are actors, folks. But I understand the moral reaction, the distaste towards individuals playing these roles. I think that sort of reaction is going to happen regardless, because Hugh Edwards is a disgusting individual.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Why isn't he in jail, for fuck's sake? Sorry.
Absolutely. I'm not condoning him by any stretch of the imagination, but I think in these kind of situations, I think you've got to separate the art from the artist. You know?
Yeah.
And I mean, we made films about Hitler.
Yeah, that's true.
You know? We made films about Pol Pot. We made films about Mao. who made films about Stalin. And film it's a storytelling medium. And yeah, the story might be wrong. The story might be right. The story might be nuanced. The story might get it wrong. It might get it right. It might get some parts wrong. It might get some parts right. But that's what we do. We tell stories. And I don't think we should, rule that out. I think anything should be available to be told a story about. It might just be me.
Thank you, Hachi Hachi. Yes, Tom Hardy. Yes, got that.
I mean, look at what's his name that played Hannibal Lecter. He played Hitler as well, didn't he? Right. Anyway,
Anthony
moving on.
Hopkins. As Hannibal.
Yeah, Anthony
Okay.
Hopkins. It was Anthony Hopkins. Documentaries are better taste. Well, yes and no. Yes and no. Because I think the problem with documentaries is they purport to be cut and dried. They're purporting to give you the facts. And the thing is, if you don't know all the facts, you've got to dress it up as a story, and then you can't make a documentary. Just my take on it. Maybe people don't like the fact that I am too reasonable. I think because I was interviewed by Gareth Icke, and he's never aired it. Because he's never aired it.
Oh, has he not? Oh, that's interesting.
No, because that didn't go along the narrative. I didn't agree with what Sexton and what's his name?
Oh, is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, I didn't agree they'd gone about it the right way, and I didn't think half of what they were saying was actually factually correct.
But that's what you brought on board, not due to your kind of former career experience, John, but it's to provide that light and shade. So I think that is disappointing why it ended up on the cutting room floor, or so to speak. It shouldn't have, because the initial intention was like we need to balance this out and do a good interview, like conduct some proper broadcast journalism and get both sides. So not deliver that fully is disappointing. And
it's like I was watching. You watch that guy Daniel Day. Daniel Lewis or something. He was a combat veteran and an American guy, Lieutenant Colonel or something, and he does a podcast mainly about Ukraine. And I was watching him, and he was interviewing he had Alexander Mercouris on, and he gave him the fucking biggest write up, and I'm thinking, do you not do any fucking research on the people you're bringing on your show? I mean, really? I mean, he goes, one of the best guys, one of the best all-round guys ever, Alexander Mercouris. And I'm like, what? Do you not fucking know any background? Do you not do any research? It's like, these people are stupid. Piss me off, I mean, if I'm bringing someone on the show, I know what they've done in the past. And it's not like it's hidden, it's all out there. Anyway, Holocaust survivor caught lying. This guy, Herman Rosenblatt, in his interview, just flat out goes, yeah, it's not true. I'm not a Holocaust survivor.
And if you disagree with me, you're AS.
Yeah. Right. Russia thanks Trump for releasing 2 Russian crew from seized tanker, says Nectarinas.
Oh.
Apparently Zero Hedge are on the weird crew makeup of the seized tanker at the moment. Well, we were here first. We did it first. Right. Okay, triple tragedy on the Yorkshire coast. Mother Sarah killing, 45, daughter Grace, 15, swept to their deaths. Hero Mark Ratcliffe, 67, dies trying to save them.
I saw that on X, very
That's
sad.
pretty horrific. And I think it's quite important. Don't fuck about with water when it's in an agitated state or it's very cold. Because you're not going to win. Yeah. You're not going to win, people. You've no idea. I mean, people don't understand how dangerous water is. My freaking wife gets swept down an entire hill in Greenock just in a foot and a half of water, because they don't understand the weight of water. Water is so heavy. Yeah. A metre of water weighs a ton. You know, a cubic meter of water weighs a ton. You think about it. It's a lot of weight. And if water's running down a hill, that's hitting your legs. You're never going to stay upright, you know? And when these people go in the sea, I hate to say it, but I don't think I'd be going in. I really don't. You know, there are times when you've got to weigh it up and go, I'm just going to die and not be able to get them out.
So they didn't go swimming.
They get swept in by a wave.
They just got swept away by a wave.
Yeah, they were too close to they're obviously too close. You know, people are fascinated by water and they're fascinated by the ocean and the power in it, and they got too close.
Especially when it's like stormy or there's a lot of
And
waves.
remember, there's always
There's
always a wave coming that's going to make the bit that you're standing on wet.
Don't go near it.
So stay, when you see a dry bit, stay another 16, 26 feet back from the dry bit, because there's always a wave coming that's going to make that dry bit wet. And if it's a big wave and it takes you into the sea,
You're fucked.
you really are.
The sea always wins, yeah.
It does. It's a cruel, cruel mistress. Speaking of a cruel mistress, Aberdeen got some rain, got some snow, didn't they? I didn't even realize we had these snow ploughs. Isn't that impressive? That's on the front of a diesel locomotive up in
That looks really well, yeah.
in between Aberdeen and Inverness. So
God,
yeah,
I've not seen that snow as thick as that in a long. God, I was a nipper.
I know. It's been a while since I've seen snow as thick as that either. We used to go to Canada skiing to get snow like that. Right, moving on. Oh, here we go. Look at all these confiscated fake degrees. Labour says it will mutually recognise in Australia when giving out visas. Huge fake diploma group in India. India has been busted. Authorities stated that the number of forged documents could exceed 1 million, and that some people with these diplomas have already found work in the Western world.
But didn't they find a whole pile of I can't remember where in the UK it was. There's some nurses or something somewhere in the UK, and
they did.
Their qualifications were a whole pile of rubbish. Basically.
Yeah, they are. And you know, when you read about, like, the one I read about today that I haven't got in the slides, the doctor with I'll just say unpronounceable name removed the ovaries of 2 perfectly healthy women in the UK for no reason.
Oh my God.
But anyway, yeah. I know I personally.
We've talked about this before.
I have personally banged on about this for a number of years, because I am convinced that 90% of the Indians out there don't have any qualifications.
I think whilst there's going to be some completely fictitious qualifications in that stack, there could also be deals, backhanders from the so-called universities and education institutions that are set up, whether it's in Jaipur, Delhi, Thiruvananthapuram, in India, like wherever it is. So you've also got to look at that. You know what I mean? These could not. They're not all just fictitious kind of creations that, you know, can't be simply checked. There could be actual deals within offices of these educational institutions. So when you have employers in Australia or the UK and they check, it checks out, it looks legit, but it was actually bought somewhere in Delhi, for example, you know?
Yeah.
That's the difficulty.
Right. That is the problem, yeah. The UAE announces it will cut funds for citizens who want to study in the UK out of fear of Emirati students being radicalised by Muslim Brotherhood Islamists on British campuses.
Yep.
That's serious.
Wow.
Yeah, an uncle of mine sent that to me today. Message. He was like, "Did you see that?"
Shanti says you can buy a certificate to be anything on a Bangkok High Street. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Right, moving on. Correct. If I'm over the direct... so, this guy, Mr. Snowden, tells The Sun online, after the limit was cut in Scotland in 2014, there was no reduction in road accidents. It's easy to see why. Drink driving accidents typically involve people who are well over the limit. That's true. That's true. You don't normally get accidents with people who are just on the cusp. And they'll only be deterred by proper enforcement of the law, not by tinkering with the existing limit. Again, that's true. But once again, the government is persecuting the sensible majority and pursuing its vendetta against the pub trade. Can't find something worthwhile to do. There is an argument to say that you shouldn't be drinking when you drive. There's also an argument to say that if you actually have one drink, tests have shown that you tend to drive better. I think because you're aware you've had one drink, you know, and you pay more attention. But that's the problem. They want to cut the limit in England, and you know that'll stop the. You can't have a pint at lunchtime and then drive home that night. You know, that's where you'll be, because you know you could go and have a pub lunch and have a pint, and then you could drive home at night, you know, from your work or whatever. But you won't be able to do things like that. It really does. It is nanny state stuff again.
It's collective punishment.
It's
similar to, you know, I've heard reports from back home in Ireland and the UK, because of some, you know, yobbos getting on a plane to Spain or wherever it is, and you know they're getting all rowdy on flights because they're, you know, drunk as skunks or whatever like that. That's it. We're looking at, you know, proposing an alcohol ban. We're going dry at these airports. Let's just punish everyone else because of this absolute minority of individuals. That is not the right approach within society. It's not.
Look at the alcohol limit in France is really, really low. You know, and it's obviously completely fucking ignored because everybody after lunchtime in France is pissed. They really are. It's dangerous.
They're like a little petit verre.
They all have a fucking bottle of wine with a lunch. They have 2-hour lunches. They have 2-hour lunches and they all drink. It's fucking nuts.
It's
they
a
really
grand bouteille.
Actually, you know what? I'm not obviously going to go and live in France, but that'd be nice because you have your lunch, you have your wine, and then you could go have a little nap.
It's fucking brilliant.
Why don't you want to live in France?
I love living in France.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. And it's like, the thing is, don't go and think you're going to go and do any shopping at lunchtime either, because the shops all shut as well. Yeah. Apart from the supermarkets stay open. And maybe in the big cities, right? But see if you live in rural France, everything shuts at 12 o'clock and doesn't open again till 2 or half 2.
Nice.
Do it, Shalini. You'd have a great lifestyle in France. You know
France is brilliant. France is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Right, moving on. The maths teacher isn't always right, and you're right here, because Marty ate 4/6 of his pizza, Lewis ate 5/6 of his pizza. Marty ate more pizza than Lewis. How is that possible? And obviously,
that is not possible.
Well, it is possible because Marty's pizza is bigger than Lewis's pizza. Is the answer, and that's right. That's the right answer. Because at no point does it say the pizzas are the same size in the question. And then, of course, the maths teacher goes, that's not possible because 5/6 is greater than 4/6.
Oh, God, so the maths teacher is a retard.
The maths teacher's wrong.
Yeah. Quantity is not being introduced in the question, yeah.
No, it doesn't show up properly on screen because it's green and they've got the green screen thing on.
All right, never mind.
Right, here we go. We've got a few in here to unpick. Right. Maria says, do people actually play with Lego these days, or do they just assemble official sets to showcase them on their bookshelves? Every self-professed Lego lover I know has Lego decorations everywhere and not a single bin of random Legos that you can put together in the weirdest combinations.
No idea.
Very painful to stand on. That's all I say.
Don't talk to me about standing on fucking Lego.
Fuck yeah. I mean, it's second after standing on a UK plug.
As a parent, John, you understand this from raising your kids, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, we had Lego growing up, and we just had a box of Lego, and we used to build anything we wanted, you know, from a pirate ship to an Arctic base or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, we just built stuff and played with it. and we never followed instructions. And now it's right enough because, you know, there are people on channels out there building fucking Lego, following instructions and books, and you're thinking, why? Why are people doing this? People fucking watch them.
That's what Richard Hammond did after he had his serious car crash with Top Gear all those years ago. As part of his rehabilitation, he was building Lego because it's very good for, you know, reconnecting brain development and neuroplasticity and all this sort of stuff. Yeah.
You're telling me that building Lego from instruction books is good for retardation?
I'm not talking about watching it online, but for rebuilding his mind, so to speak, in hospital.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Connecting neural pathways.
Okay, let's move away from Lego because, you know,
move away from the Lego. It's getting.
I just pulled that post out of the ether. I did not make that post. Right, Samina Ahead here has been struck off as a solicitor after somebody else struck off as a solicitor. Who else were we talking about earlier that was struck off? Oh no, we won't mention that. After falsely claiming she was working 28 hours a day.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Or dudette.
She's not a fucking very bright solicitor, is she? If
she looks pretty well for someone who works 28 hours a day. She's
28 hours a day. Just think about that.
As well, probably.
Shanti says, ghost towns at lunchtime. I think you're talking about France. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
In Spain,
actually,
they do
most of the rural French towns are ghost towns all the time. Right.
Sorry.
Apparently, YouTube Live cut at 3 seconds to midnight to a 5-second advert. That was nice, wasn't it? I mean, I didn't see it, but that would have fucking killed the party vibe, wouldn't it?
Sorry, what? Say that again?
YouTube Live on the countdown to the bells, right? Cut to an advert.
Because we watched the fireworks. And we were like, what the fuck's going on?
That's fucking nuts.
But if you use certain browsers, that could help.
Well, if you use certain browsers, be brave out there. Be brave, people.
I was falling asleep when it was like one of these fireworks start, and I want to go to bed. The
And
fireworks here, all around here, were going off from like about 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah. And they cut to an advert. That's just fucking shocking.
They did.
No, it was not crossing time zones, Julie. They cut, it's like Shalini said, they cut in your time zone to...
Yeah.
They done it deliberately because more people would be watching at that point than any other point.
No, and I was like, what the fuck?
Frankie says he's been brave, or Frankie's a girl, isn't she? No, Frankie's a guy. Frankie says he's been brave for 2 years now. Well done, Frankie. Being brave. Why do parents only announce their baby's weight when it's born? I saw. Why do parents only announce their baby's weight when it's born? And Julie did this because she goes, you know,
with her
and everybody does. Everybody does. You never hear them say, "Happy 30th birthday, Steve. 18 stone. Aren't you a big boy now?" That would be quite funny, wouldn't it? People said your weight.
It's just tradition that the child is okay. It's in good fettle, good health, you know.
Yeah, I know.
7 pounds, however many ounces.
Yeah, I know. It's to show you that it's a healthy child, isn't it? Anyway, this list here is quite good. Trees, spelt as in sheep. Bridal way, bridal spelt as in a bride and not as in a harness. Garden border, not border. Sowing spring barley, sowing as in sewing, as in stitch. Yep. Carp park, tree roots, ROUTES, electric charging, very eclectic charging.
The old the charges, I tell you.
Door mice. Farmers herd their sheep, herd as in herd, not HERD, and teaming as in teams, TEAM, teaming with wildlife. These are just some of the list of stuff that Andy Nelson or something, who was a volunteer for the National Trust, sent to the CEO and promptly got banned from
because of homophones. That's what they're called.
Yeah,
Because
he pulled out all these fucking classic errors that are on National Trust literature, and he sent something like fucking 500 of them to the CEO, and they banned him rather than say thank you for pointing out these errors. They just fucking banned him.
They're knobs.
it sounds like something the government would do.
Yeah,
How dare you
doesn't it?
embarrass us?
Indeed.
Get out.
Speaking of things the government do, a mother and daughter have been jailed for social media posts at Edinburgh Sheriff Court. Sentencing Judge Sheriff Charles Walls denounced their hatred, racism, and anti-Semitism. He also cited their conspiracy theories about white genocide.
What did they say?
Well, they made some posts on social media that
Provocative posts.
The police said were hateful, and they pled guilty, didn't they?
Well, there was the mistake.
What the fuck? You plead guilty, you're going to get done for it. Crazy. And have you seen the amount of people getting into Lucy Connolly these days? What the fuck? Why are they? I mean, if anything, I think she's proven that she's not a fucking psyop by the fact that she's back on Twitter saying stupid things. Because if you're a psyop, you wouldn't be doing that, you know? Because the psyop finished when she went to jail.
It's a tricky one because you have actual real people who do exist with their real travel companies. That particular individual that Mary has called out as being a fake and having a fake travel company actually exists. And I've known this individual. I nearly met up with him at some point between 20 and 2021. And I know for a fact that this individual did sell a lot of holidays. Yet we have Mary doing the digging out there and saying he's a fake on Company's House and he's never sold a holiday.
Fake.
It's like, I'm sorry, Mary, but this is getting a little bit like kind of dangerous here. You're digging a big hole for yourself, getting actual real people and saying that they don't exist and they're fake. It's like you got to calm down. You're causing a lot of damage now, you know.
That Mary woman is a fucking psycho. I'll say it. I'm quite happy to say it.
Sorry,
She's a fucking. She's a psycho.
Who's this Mary person?
Mary AF or whatever her name is.
Mary Finch. Mary A. Finch.
Yeah, she's a fucking nutter.
It's like she's asking some really good questions, like things that she investigates. I don't agree with everything, but when real people become implicated, she's calling them out as, say, like spooks and stuff like that, and they're fake and they don't exist when they actually do. That's when you run into a lot of problems, and that's where individuals like Mary, you've got to be careful. You got to be really careful.
Yeah, fucking nutter. Right, this has to be the best speech ever. We would like the public to stop referring to the shooter as the brown shooter, as it's got nothing to do with skin colour and sounds Islamophobic. Stands corrected when he is informed that is because the shooter was from Brown's University.
Oh, you numpty.
That's true.
That's true.
Moving on, Japan has a new station master cat.
Oh, I loved this post. I love Japan.
The Wakayama Electric Railway Kishigawa line is famous for its feline station masters. A new cat, Rokutama, has been appointed trainee station master of 2 stations. Other cats received promotions. This is serious stuff.
I love Japan.
And what do we have at, like, you know, as the mouse catcher at like number 10? We used to have
that
Larry the cat.
But he's a lefty knob.
Larry the cat.
The person that runs the X account anyway. The cat is fine. The cat's nice, but
I don't even know if Larry still is alive. But I think Starmer's got another one called Princess or something like that. So that's the new.
Hang on a minute. Who's the last person to see Larry alive?
That's the thing. Haven't seen any picture evidence to say that he's still with us.
Speaking of who was the last person to see someone alive, who the fuck cuts his hair? That is ridiculous.
What's going on there, dude?
Well, it looks like sad dick, and it looks like he's had a fucking wild haircut.
That's a 6 or 7 quid cut if I've ever seen one.
That's a Turkish barber cut. That.
Yeah, he must have gone down the one down near him in Tooting.
Yeah. An Indian speciality shop in Auckland, New Zealand, sells 2 litres of fresh cow urine for $253, used for medical disinfectant.
Excuse me while I go and puke.
Cow dung cakes for $220 a kilo, suitable for puja festivals. I can only imagine what's involved there. I think it may be throwing. And powdered cow shit for your baby for $214 a container. Apparently giving this to your baby will give it superpowers.
Okay, can we just go to the next slide because I'm really feeling queasy.
So yeah, fucking Indians being Indian.
Nice play in puja festivals, because that basically means it's a prayer festival, but the way they call the puja is quite funny. But there you go.
Good morning from Nuuk, Greenland. This was January the 7th at 10 a.m. The temperature was +3 degrees. Where I am, it was minus 3 degrees. I was not fucking happy.
No.
Why is Scotland colder than Greenland?
Why is it so feckin' dark?
Because it's further north.
Oh yeah.
Do you think about it? You need to start critical thinking as well.
It's the same for other northern parts of Scandinavia as well. They don't get as much daylight.
I couldn't I literally couldn't cope with that, guys. I couldn't cope with it. I couldn't.
Officers investigating the sexual assault of a 25-year-old woman in Middlesbrough are appealing for information. The woman had been leaving Bazaar in Captain Cook Square between 7:30 and 8 p.m. on Saturday, 13th December, when she was approached by a number of men and sexually assaulted by one of them. They are described as being aged between 17 and 23, wearing dark clothing and Asian. As part of the officers' inquiries, we've released a CCTV image of a male they would like to speak to. Holy fuck! You are kidding me on. I mean, I know that guy. What the fuck? What? Look at the guy. Look at the image they have released. Why?
Blind.
You can't see anything. He's wearing a fucking hood. You can't see anything.
Oh, right, okay.
He's like a bloody whippet as well. There's like
I know. Well, what was it?
He's skin and bone, I tell you.
You ever watched Black Hawk Down? What do they call them in Black Hawk Down? Skinnies?
String of piss. Yeah.
Sorry, I've got a guest.
Skinnies. Right, around 50 sheep went on a rampage to a supermarket in Bergzen, Germany, toppling shelves, smashing bottles and causing utter chaos for 20 minutes before being rounded up. Look at them all packed in.
How did they get in the supermarket?
Well, they were probably getting driven through or past or something and they broke off. That's fucking nuts, isn't it?
That's hilarious.
That would have been a great one if that came out during the panic where people were buying water and loads of bog roll, loads of toilet roll during 2020 into 2021 in the UK. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, because you could have used that. Look at all the sheep. They're raiding the shelves.
Oh, look.
Best dressed cat ever. That is incredible, isn't it?
Julie, that looks like you're a kitten, Julie. That looks like little Mittens. Except obviously Mittens doesn't have a a formal tie.
Oh, it's lovely.
It's tremendous.
Lovely.
That's a nice.
It's tremendous. That is the best dressed cat ever. Right, alcohol industry has lost over 830 billion in the last 4 years as millennials and Gen Z are drinking less than past generations. Well, there you go. You have just answered the question as to why the birth rate is down. No more beer goggles.
Nope. Like, are Gen Z really boring or something? Like,
yeah.
Grief.
Yeah.
What do they not go out on the lash?
No, they fucking sit and play Fortnite and build Lego.
Steady on. Steady on.
Anyway, moving on. This title isn't going to help the gay rumours, is it, Will Smith? Pole to pole.
Just would have been easier to say North Pole to South Pole. Just stick in a couple of adjectives there,
Yeah. Pole to pole. Starmer should have played that. Anyway, moving on. Holmes
know.
Protein, a popular local brand in California, has been selling protein powder with literally 3 grams of protein and 21 grams of carbs per scoop. When they
Oops.
claimed 22 grams of protein and 4 grams of carbs, they are selling cake batter as fucking protein powder.
Get out.
What a scam. Oh.
Imagine all those fat bastards who are trying to bulk up, just putting on belly. There's a fish that looks like President Donald Trump at this
Oh my
aquarium.
God.
And there is.
It's Fisho Trumpo.
El Fisho, yeah.
El Fisho Trumpo.
Right. This guy, I thought I had a good fucking CV, but this guy just knocks it out of the park. Writer, wizard, mall Santa, Rasputin impersonator.
Definitely a Rasputin impersonator. Alexander Dugan impersonator as well, maybe.
I thought he looks a bit like Donald Sutherland as well.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
actually,
little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Moving on. Ernest Hemingway claimed he was followed by the FBI for years. Everyone thought he was talking pish and losing his mind. The FBI's gang stalking contributed to his suicide. A few years ago, the FBI released his file. Turns out they were following him and had placed him under constant surveillance.
What the fuck?
This is important, and it means you remember, people, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you.
Yeah,
Remember
gang
that.
stalking is a
I'm
thing. It's been
telling
around for
you,
years. It's real.
Go with your gut.
Go with your gut. Yep. Someone from the United States wanted to confirm the credibility of company, and I've been banging on about this for fucking years as well. Companies marketing for DNA analysis. So 23andMe, I think, he withdrew a sample of his chameleon's saliva, documented it in his name, sent it into them, and the result came back after 3 months. 51.3% Ashkenazi Jew, 48.1% from West Asia and North Africa, and 40% Iranian Caucasian.
That's quite a mix.
That's an awful lot of percentages.
For a
That's
lizard,
way
yeah.
more than 100. But yeah, that would... Well, look at the 2 twins that put their details into fucking 23andMe and come back with different ancestries. 2 identical twins. You just... That can't happen. These guys need to fucking improve their marketing. The GMT coffee, you've got the line fucking well wrong.
DMT coffee.
GMT, Greenwich Coffee
Oh, beg
Company.
your pardon. You said DMT
Right.
for a second.
Sorry, Greenwich Coffee. They fucking missed Greenwich by about 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
I think a bit more than that, maybe.
Move the line to the left.
Oh, that was the NASA astronaut's wife that we dug into earlier. Remember,
yes.
I thought we'd follow this up, but you know we've already done it. We did it at the beginning.
Not Butch. Not Butch at all.
What
Nope.
no, not
Totally
at all.
not.
What the fuck would we do without CNN? CNN reports that according to a senior park official, Cecil, the lion's brother Jericho, who is also a lion.
Obviously. I thought it might be a giraffe, but you know.
Fucking hell. Who felt the need to put in who is also a lion?
I know, what a knob. Come
AI
on.
generated. That was Gen AI.
Yeah, probably
generated.
actually.
Oh, good, ridiculous. Nick Teresa says a paranoiac is someone in possession of the facts. I think you may be
Yes.
right, sir. I think you may well be right. Here, I really like men that think ahead. Him. I already drank a litre of pineapple juice. What? What? And we'll move on. Just when you thought it was all over, along comes Panther season, and some things once seen can never be unseen.
Oh Jesus!
Wait a minute, is that Tom Cruise and the Crankies?
No, that's John. That's
That's John
Barrowman. on the right,
Barrowman.
and
Oh.
he's an absolute filthy bastard. That
Oh,
guy.
he is. But they're freaking holding the spar off that wheel, aren't they?
Is that wee Jimmy Cranky in the
That's
middle?
wee Jimmy Cranky.
Certainly is.
Or is it Nicola Sturgeon?
Oh.
Hey.
Anyway, I don't know what you guys thought. Chat room, if you have any feedback on. Well, we didn't start with the traditional all in. We started with a new video that I'd done this afternoon. Do you like that kind of thing, or do you want to go back to the all in? Let me know. You know, just
Stick out a poll, mate. Stick out a poll.
I'm not putting a poll out now. But yeah, let me know. Just let me know. Just put a comment on the fucking. Somebody put a comment on the fucking thing. Frankie says the old one. I'm pretty sure Frankie used to fucking slag me every time I put the old one up. Maybe it was somebody else. Right, anyway, moving on. I'm going to do this whack-ass crash diet Vogue printed in the 70s. I think that's got to be worth a shot, right? 3 days, lose 5 pounds. Breakfast, 1 egg, hard-boiled, 1 glass white wine, dry, preferably Chablis.
Chablis, yeah, nice.
Black coffee. Lunch, 2 eggs, hard-boiled is best, but poached if necessary. 2 glasses, white wine, black coffee.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dinner,
nice.
5-ounce steak, grilled with black pepper, lemon juice, remainder of white wine. 1 bottle allowed per day. Black coffee. Fucking hell. And I think the only thing they missed was you must chain smoke as well.
Oh, it sounds like a good French diet. Might give it a try.
So
It's missing cheese.
cheese.
That's true.
Cheese, Gromit.
Cheese. So I think and thank you for replying, Frankie. At least it does show that there are some people in the chat room still alive and listening.
Yes.
But I appreciate it, mate. We've only got one slide left. Anybody else get anything they want to say?
I'm good. It's been great.
Yeah, it's been a start. It's been a start. What a fucking start to a year, though. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
seriously, at one point I thought we were going to get nuked. I really did.
But don't forget the. It's obviously I'm sure everybody knows because we're in the wide awake club, unlike the normies. As Vaughan just thought he'd ask a few of his normie co-workers, and they're like, "What? What do you mean? What's going on in Iran?" But it looks like that might all be toppling. So
yeah, well,
we shall have to hope and pray.
See, this is the thing, and I should have done this at the start, but I wasn't really thinking properly. And Nick just says he liked the old one. I like that. Bristol didn't say he saw the new video, but he's happy with whatever I do. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, you sycophant. Anyway, I was thinking the Venezuelan thing, right? Oh, now I've forgotten what I was going to say. What were we talking about there?
Well, I mentioned Iran.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, so initially I thought, well, if he'd got the Venezuela thing, he's secured the oil. I know it's shite oil, but it's still the biggest deposit of oil in the world, apparently. So if he secured all their oil, if he goes into Iran, he's going to disrupt the Middle East oil flows. But he can afford that because America's going to be fine because they're a net exporter of oil anyway, and they've got the Venezuelan oil, so they really don't give a fuck. They're sitting pretty, right? So he can now go in and hit, Iran. But with Iran going, and the other thing is, what's he achieved in Venezuela so far? And I would say very, very little because he hasn't effected the regime change.
Yeah, because what's that? Because I don't. Other than I know, obviously Maduro and the missus is gone. Like,
yeah. Well, the deputy stepped up.
Are all Maduro's allies still there?
No, they're all still there. Yeah, they're all still there.
So what's different then?
Nothing.
Nothing. Exactly.
And the thing is, how would he even? I mean, he said we'll run the country. How would he? How could you even think about running a country the size of Venezuela? It's not a small country. Who's going to protect people if they're? How would he even open? How could he even open the oil? The oil fields again. How could he open the emerald mines and the rare earth mineral mines? How could he open them and protect them? He'd have to put so many troops in there; it would be unbelievable. This is an elf. This is typical Americana, though. They fucking do these things knee jerk, right? And they don't think of the consequences, and they don't have a long term plan. At least when the British Empire fucking took over your country, You knew they were going to be there for a while and make it damn better.
Yeah. No, that's right. Yeah, because that's what I was just thinking today. It's like, what's actually happened since? Fuck all, probably.
Well, that's it. So what's going to happen in Iran now? Because it does appear that the Iranians have become a bit irate.
I don't.
Yeah, they have the Straits of Hormuz as a weapon to send global financial shocks through the entire global system.
Well, yeah.
So regardless of America's so-called energy security that they might kind of scoop off from Venezuela's reservoirs of, their trillions, America still would be affected by a global financial meltdown that could be caused by Iran's closure of Hormuz.
This is the thing I don't fucking get. Canty says USA's wanted Iran for years. And yeah, they maybe have, but the West had Iran. We had Iran. All you had to do was fucking keep the Shah there, and we had Iran.
Yeah.
We had to go and get rid of him, you know?
Well, no, it was the British CIA coup against Mossadegh.
Yeah, I know.
We're going to nationalize the oil. Oh no, you don't. We're going to coup you and stick in our Shah, and we're going to get pissed off with him and get rid of him. So the question is, if Reza Pahlavi, part of the
if we'd left the fucking Iran alone, they'd probably be more westernized than any other fucking Middle Eastern country.
Hey, I mean, if Saudi Arabia are getting there, maybe Iran eventually would. They'd revert back to maybe the way it was potentially in the 70s or 80s, kind of like pre-Islamic revolution.
I don't know. Maybe that's what's happening. Because you can only take getting put down for so long, can you? Before you rise up.
Yep.
Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, that's a strange ending to the show. I've got one slide left, and it's quite disturbing.
Oh no!
It's an Appalachian family, right? Who got a little girl what she wanted for her Christmas, and I mean she's a poor soul. She's got a hair lip, right? And she's also got a dead goat, and the family obviously followed her wishes and stuffed her goat and gave it to her for her Christmas.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No.
Oh, my God.
It's fucking nightmare fuel.
Please tell me the goat was alive during that point. Please tell me.
No, that's a dead goat. That was in a box,
God.
mate. That's a stuffed goat. That is fucking nightmare fuel.
I'm not looking. I'm just literally like not looking.
It's been great for you.
See you later, folks.
It's Friday night and we're all in. No, wrong one. I'll give you this one.
So bright, fake snow falling, Sgt Grumpy growling, calling at sharp wit like ice, it stings. David's quips on broken wings. Mark the bells, rip the cheer, all in crew, we're here to sneer. Shalini and Sarah house, truce and rap, no sacred cows. True sacred cows. Dread eye lurking in the thread, Julius giggles, Shanty's dread, militant mushroom, spore-filled fight, nectaritis sparks the night. Frankie's grin, one sharp replies, so just